Okay, hello everyone. I hope you're able to see my screen and I'm audible. Okay. So as per your syllabus, let's continue the next topic. If you people remember, right? Last time we started with this video and I have shown you some visualizations. I talked about some basic things like what is big data, right? What are the 5 V's related to big data, and we just revise what are the types of data. So, as in this fifth unit, it's about data visualization and tools. That's why what I will do is I will just try to introduce you this particular tool, Tableau. And along with that, we'll be talking about all these things: types of visualization, visualizing big data, tools. That is nothing but Tableau, or techniques for visual data representation. So there are different techniques actually which are involved, like even with a excel file also you can visualize the data, right? So tableau is one tool. Similarly, excel is also a tool with the help of which you can visualize the data. So just in accordance with the same whatever is mentioned in your syllabus, with respect to that we will try to go and we will try to talk about data visualization, different ways of visualizing the data, what is the importance of visualizing the data, and then we will talk about a tool that is nothing but tableau as per your syllabus. And here we will try to see very simple example. We will try to do a hands-on thing here with the help of Tableau, right? Obviously, as I am talking about Tableau tool, that means yes, one needs to install it. So I will talk about how to install it if you are not aware about it. If someone is aware about it, that's good, no problem. Okay. But yes, let me tell you, Tableau is actually it's not a free, but yes, as a student, you can make use of Tableau for free for 1 year. Right. And even if someone is not student and someone wants to make use of Tableau for free, so there's a trick for that actually that I will be discussing in this session itself. Okay. So if someone is interested to go for data analysis or business analysis, right? So yes, Tableau is the best one. You can actually think of Tableau, right? And yes, those people who are not much good in coding, they can also go for this. Even if someone is good with coding, still they can also make use of Tableau kind of a tool. Because yes, in data science or data analysis, you can make use of Tableau for visualization. Because without understanding the data, one cannot move forward, right? And that's why this Tableau is very important. So just to start with data visualization, that is last unit, right? So to discuss types of data visualization, different ways of data visualization, with respect to all these points I will try to talk about some basic concepts or maybe the types of graphs, types of visualizations which can be used in data visualization, right? So whether you talk about data visualization, whenever I talk about data visualization, it can be used in number of ways, right? So data analysis, yes, in data analysis field, we are going to need data visualization, right? Or business analysis, I can say, or business analysts can make use of data visualization for understanding the data better and making the decisions, right? So, or maybe business intelligence, you might have heard about this particular domain. In business intelligence, also, yes, data visualization is very necessary. So, you talk about any field, right? Data visualization is going to be there. So, even if you are going for machine learning, for example, right? So yes, it is there. Even if for deep learning, you need data visualization. Or overall, I can say AI, artificial intelligence. So yes, data visualization is very important, right? If you want to go, if you want to create a good model, you want to create the models which are going to give you the results or accurate results to be more precise. Yes, data visualization is going to be very important. So here, that's why we will try to talk about different ways or different types of data visualization and different tools which can be used for data visualization, right? So maybe suppose if I talk about business intelligence, right? So as we have already seen in the starting or in first of the few sessions itself, we talked about database and all those things, right? So when I talked about definition of a data, I say that it's a raw material, right? So what is business intelligence actually? So business intelligence is nothing but conversion of this raw data or raw material, I can say. So raw data to meaningful information. That is nothing but business intelligence, right? Or conversion of data to information is nothing but business intelligence. That's where this data visualization also going to come into picture. Or if I talk about tool, that's where this Tableau is going to come into picture, right? So as our discussion is going to revolve around Tableau only, so I will be talking about more about Tableau itself, right? For example, as I said that I will try to talk about how to install it, right? Installation of Tableau is easy, right? Obviously you need to create some account, you need to use some information and all those things, right? So Tableau, there are different versions of Tableau which are available actually. Near about, if you talk about size of this tool, near about 450, 480, I think 479 something, like 479 MB is the size of this Tableau tool. It's already installed in my case. uh, if you really want to install, I will be providing this particular PDF, whatever you are able to see, right? Near about, I think 20, so many pages are there? 25 pages are there in this PDF. So just to start with Tableau, yes, this is going to help you, right? So this is actually a lightweight file which we are going to make use of to install Tableau. And yes, Tableau can work on Windows as well as Mac. Maybe for Linux user, you might not be able to make use of Tableau in some cases, but yes, it will still work. I will show you which are the versions which are available. But yeah, I think it should work in case of Linux also, right? So how you can make use of Tableau for free for lifetime, that I will be discussing. Okay. So as we are talking about this data visualization, let me talk about very basic things which you can make use of data visualization. First of all, what you can do with the help of data visualization, let's try to talk about that particular, right? So as today's topic is data visualization, first of all, I will try to cover some concepts and then I will try to show you practical hands-on here with the help of Tableau tutorial. Okay. So see, what data visualization can do is, visualization can, with the help of visualization, you can get an idea about comparison, or with the help of visualization, you can do comparison. That is one thing, right? One more thing you can do with the help of visualization is composition. You can do. Yes, it can be used for composition also. How? That I will try to give you some examples. Maybe examples of graphs. Composition, I mean to say what composition means. Maybe what contribution from a particular department. For example, you want to find out. So yes, you can do that with the help of data visualization, and that is the thing. But composition, I'm trying to talk about here. Then the third point you can talk about. You can show distribution. You can make use of visualization for showing the distribution also. So yes, this is also one area where you can make use of data visualization. For example, maybe distribution of age in data. For example, 30 to 40 age group people. So what is it? What is the distribution? Right? Or how the age of the people is distributed. So we will see which kind of a graph can be used for showing the distribution with the help of visualization. We will try to talk about that. Even for finding out the trends, right? Finding out the trends also you can make use of data visualization. Maybe trends of profit, maybe trends of sell, right? You can make use of data visualization in that case. And one more point is you can find out the relation, or I can say relationship. So to find out the relationships or relations, you can make use of data visualization. For example, if you want to find out effect of one variable on another variable, yes, that can be done with the help of visuals or visualization. And yes, one more point is that you can go and you can plot the maps, right? Web maps, I can say, or for example, country map or world map. And depending on that, you can go and you can actually try to visualize the data. One example today which we will try to talk about is we will see our data in Excel file, and then same data I will try to show you in Tableau, right? So it will be like a comparison between Microsoft Excel and Tableau, I can say, right? So we will see that in that particular example, we will try to talk about maps also. So yes, these are some of the things which you can do with the help of data visualization. And yes, Tableau is just a tool which can help you do all these things, right? So and yes, whether it's a business intelligence or data visualization, or you can say data analysis, business analysis, all these things are going to come into picture. Okay. Now talking about this particular point, talking about comparison, for example. So, where this which type of graphs can be used for comparison, right? For example, if I want to name some of the graphs, again, see these graphs or visuals are again not new for you, right? Even with the help of Python, also we have seen that yes, you can go and you can plot the graphs. So, for example, comparison. Which graph can be used for comparison? So, or which visual can be used for comparison? So, bar graph. Bar graph is one of the examples which can be used for uh, comparing different values, we can say, right? So yes, for comparison you can make use of bar graph kind of a thing. Now for composition, what did I tell you? For composition, I told you that, for example, you want to find out what is the contribution from a particular department, right? So in that case, yes, that is going to be composition. So what type of a graph can be used for this kind of a thing? So you might have heard about something called as donut charts, right? So donut charts are going to be helpful for finding out the contribution, or maybe you can make use of something like pie charts, right? So what is the contribution of a particular player, right, while scoring the runs during the match, right? Player 1, player 2, player 3, and so on, and their contribution, right? So something like this, you might have seen this pie chart kind of thing, right? So yes, for composition you can make use of pie chart, or even there is something called as layered donut chart also. This is also available. Layered donut chart. This is also one thing which you can make use of for composition, finding out the contribution of a particular thing, right? And then and even yes, even you can have a simple visualization also, and that is nothing but text columns. So text columns is also one visual you can say, right? And that also can be used for composition. Talking about distribution. Now for distribution, the best graph you can think of is nothing but histogram, right? The histogram is going to help you to know the distribution. For example, distribution of age in the data, right? So for example, 30 to 40 age group people. So distribution of age, or maybe 40 to 50, 20 to 30, and so on. So yes, histogram is going to come into picture in that case. Now talking about trends, so which graphs can be used for finding out the trends in the data, right? So you can make use of line charts, right? Line charts are the graphs which you can make use of for finding out the trends, right? Again, you might have heard about all these names, but let me tell you, there can be questions based on these things. In which situation you can make use of each type of a graph, you should be aware about that. Okay, so for trends, line charts is the base chart, I can say. Now for finding out the relations, right, I told you what is relation. For example, if you want to find out the effect of one variable on another variable, right? So yes, that is the good relation. So here scatter plot, I can say scatter plot is going to be the perfect graph for which you can make use of for finding out the relations. And talking about maps, so specifically I will talk about web maps. For example, if you want to know, if you want to highlight something on our country's map, right? Or you want to highlight all the mm, telephone offices in Pune city, right? So yes, you can make use of maps. So yes, there also data visualization is going to come into picture. So these are some of the ways where data visualization can be used, or these are some of the examples of the graphs where, with the help of which you can make use of data visualization and try to understand more things about your data. Right now, moving forward and taking our discussion and including this particular topic in our discussion, what I will do is, as I told you, I will try to compare Microsoft Excel. Right, I will try to take some data set in Microsoft Excel. I will try to show you visualization of that particular data set with the help of Excel itself, and then we will try to do the same thing with the help of Tableau. Right. So for same data set, I will show you the data set file, and for some same data set, we will try to do data visualization with the help of both of these tools. Okay. And yes, before that, if you try to see, uh, in my case, I already have Tableau installed, right? So just now I installed it actually. If in your case it is not installed, I will give the link. If you want to go and if you want to install it, you can copy the link and just download it and install according to whatever the operating system which is available on your system, right? So these are some of the points. Out of all these points, I will talking about Tableau. So bar charts, pie charts, scatter plot. These are some of the graphs which we can make use of for visualization. Okay, this is what I talked about. Business intelligence is a process of converting raw data into meaningful information. So a set of process architecture and technologies that drives profitable business actions is also business intelligence. So there are different definitions of business intelligence which you are able to see here, right? But in short, in simple words, I can say it is nothing but conversion of raw data into information. That's what business intelligence is, and Tableau can be used for that, or visualization can be used for that. So data visualization, right? All these terms are somewhat more or less they are related actually, and these are some of the examples of the tools which can be useful for data visualization, like Tableau, Power BI. Power BI is a product of Microsoft. QLeaf Sense, SAP, you might have heard about this, MicroStrategy and Analytics, right? And Intrinsic Informer, and number of them they are available. But we will discuss why. Why Tableau? Why actually we are talking about Tableau? So there is a reason, right? Before that, let's see why visualization. Why there is a need for visualization, right? So the first reason is understand the missingness pattern. If you people remember in when we discussed about machine learning, right, whether for Python, at that time we talked about missing values. We have seen that if there are missing values, then your model is not going to give you correct results, right? So real world data have the missingness problem for various reasons. So people refuse to answer specific questions due to privacy concerns, like maybe their income, for example. So people accidentally enter incorrect data. So these are some of the reasons why there will be missing values in the data set, right? So as to understand the missingness pattern in the data, visualization is important. That is the first reason why visualization is actually needed. The second reason is identifying outliers. So if you remember something like box and whisker plot, we have seen while developing the model, right? So with the help of box and whisker plot, we were able to find out the outliers in our data sets, right? So if you people remember, we have created a model for classification with the help of logistic regression. In that case, we actually use something called as box and whisker plot, or I will call it as box plot, just to identify the outliers, right? So yes, identifying the outliers is one of the main reasons why data visualization is actually needed. So one early step in data pre-processing is to handle outliers, which are data values that are distinctly different from other data values in the data set, or extreme values we can say, right? So for example, see, missing a decimal can make the value 100 times larger. For example, 10.24, and if you just miss a decimal point here, the value will be 1024. This value is 100 times larger than this one, right? So yes, that means as compared to 10.24, 1024 is very high, and that can be outlier, right? That can be outlier in that case. So just to identify those kind of values, visualization is actually needed, because if there is outlier, again your model is not going to give correct results, right? That's why visualization is needed. And general meaningful hypothesis. So hypothesis is nothing but what we try to assume something, and we try to come up with a contradiction of that. So hypothesis is like something theoretical, right? It's a theoretical concept. If we make use of this kind of concepts in data science and machine learning, so you can see this as machine learning settings, it's always necessary to inform some hypothesis and to form some hypothesis and develop some meaningful model with the training data set, which we have already done, right? Which we hope hold when we run the models in the test data set, that is in real time. So similar to the identification of outliers, specific data structures of given data set will determine how we visualize the data before doing any testing. So as I told you, hypothesis is something theoretical. It's like we try to imagine something and we try to hope that okay, that is going to be true in real time also, right? And we just try to compare the real time results with the hypothesis. For example, if you are trying to identify a possible linear relationship between two continuous variables, you can start with scatter plot, right? So yes, scatter plot means yes, there is a visualization. So these are some of the reasons why visualization is actually used. Missing data, outliers, and generating meaningful hypotheses, right? Now, why visualization we talked about? Now, why Tableau? Why am I talking about Tableau only? Even though there are thousands of tools which are available in the market, but why we are discussing about Tableau? So it's the first ultimate skill for data science, right? It's user friendly because it is just drag and drop. It can apply to any business. You talk about any domain, you can make use of Tableau. It's fast and easy. Why? We will see that. Even with Excel, Tableau will be your best partner. Even if you are going to make use of Excel, but yes, along with that, you can make use of Tableau. And the most important thing is that no coding skill is required. As I told you that it's just a drag and drop tool. And let me tell you, people who work in Tableau, right? Even in terms of money, in salary also, in terms of salary also, they have been actually paid very huge amount, right? You might be knowing, I hope, right? So community is huge in terms of in case of Tableau, the community is huge. The people who try to contribute to Tableau's development, that community is huge, and that's why if some problem exists, right, that problem can be solved in very less time. It leverages the power of data and makes easy to make your data reports flexible. So it is actually used to create dashboards, See, as a human, right, dashboards or we can say visualizations are always going to be easy for us to understand the data as compared to numbers. So that's what Tableau actually provides. This is some comparison given between Microsoft Excel and Tableau. So you can see that on the left side, this is nothing but Microsoft Excel, for example, and this is Tableau, right? So you can see organize, format, and calculate data. It represents visualize insights from the data. So just you can go through all these things. These are some of the basic things. Knowledge of VB and macros is required for this kind of a thing for the visualization. But in case of Tableau, no coding skills are required. So this is something is going to be catchy for the people who do not like to code. Okay. Now see, simple data set is given. Now on the left side, you can see that the Excel data which you are able to see. For example, this is Excel file in which we have these labels, right? These are the state names and the population and the average literacy rate. Now the same data is shown in Tableau like this, right? Now which one you are going to prefer, right? So obviously this particular thing. See, even if here you are able to see that this data is only this many number of rows, but obviously in real time this data is going to be huge, and going to the Excel and then reading it and everything, obviously it is going to take time. But as compared to that, if you see this particular visualization, it is also showing you same thing. All these numbers, whatever you are able to see, these are nothing but the population only, right? So you can see that we are able to see, okay, what is the population of Maharashtra? So you can see here, right? So same thing. Here, if you want to look out, then you need to check. Okay, this is the population of Maharashtra, right? And again, there are actually some drill down things also are there. So for example, you can see this plus sign. If I click on this plus sign, it is going to show me the city names also. So yes, this is also possible. I will show you this particular example. I am going to show you a practical hands-on actually. I will be making use of the same data set, and I will try to do all these things in Excel, and then I will try to visualize the things in Tableau itself. Okay, so you can see this is a simple example in my excellent Tableau. Now see, what are we going to do? So as we want to understand working of Tableau, so we will try to make a very simple data set. I will show you this demographic details. This is a CSV file which we already have. Okay, text file, CSV file, whatever you call it as. Now from that we will try to show total population, average literacy rate, and we will allow drill down strategies for city. That means there will be a plus sign for state, and once I click on state, I will be able to see all the city names in that state. Something like this we want to do. First of all, let me go and let me show you what is the data set available. See, this is the data set demographic details. This is the data set which is available here. Now, what am I going to do is I will show you visualization with the help of Microsoft Excel itself, and then I will show you the same visualization with the help of Tableau for the same data set. That is nothing but this demographic details. So let me just open this particular file and okay, let me close this Tableau. It is showing me that my trial error has ended, but I am not going to make use of that particular thing. Let me close everything. Let me open everything on the start. See, first of all, this particular Excel file. Let me check. Close it. Close this one. Say no. Because I was making use of that demographic file just sometime before, because I wanted to show you all these things. Just for that, I was just trying it out 10-15 minutes before the session. See, let me first of all tell you. See, if I press Windows button, if I try to search for Tableau, now you will be able to see multiple versions of Tableau in market. So I'm making use of these multiple versions because one version can be used only for 14 days for free. So what am I doing is, as I want to make use of Tableau for lifetime, right? For more duration. That's why I'm making use of different versions. That's the only thing. Otherwise, if you want to make use of Tableau, as I said, it's not free, so you need to pay something, right? So near about $70 per year you need to pay. And yeah, one more point is that why Tableau? Talking about why Tableau, so you can see that there is this whatever you are able to see. This is called as a magic quadrant. There are four quadrants. It's a magic quadrant. Now, first one is challenges, the challengers. Then next one is nick players, and then visionaries, and then the leaders. So these are the four quadrants which you are able to see. Now, in these four quadrants, you are able to see different visualization tools. Like IBM is there, Looker is there, MicroStrategy is there, TIBCO software is there, Log Analytics is there, and so on. But all these tools you can see they are in nick players. In challengers, you can see Locker is there, TIBCO is there. In visionaries, you can see all these tools: Oracle, SAS, SAP, Salesforce. But in leaders quadrant, you can see it's Microsoft Power BI, right? And another one is Tableau. So Tableau is in leaders quadrant. That means these are the tools which are leading in data visualization, and that is the reason we are also making use of or discussing about Tableau, right? So those people who are having some doubts why visualization, why Tableau. So yes, this is the thing which is going to clear all those points. And future impact of business intelligence or business analysis, all these things in general are actually mentioned here in this video. Right. Now, those who want to install Tableau, right, maybe some of you might not be knowing about how to install Tableau. So for them, what I will do is I will just try to send this particular link in the chat box. If you really want to go and try your hands at Tableau, you can go and you can try it out. Okay. Those who want to try out. Those who do not, forget about it. No problem. Okay. And if you want to make use of Tableau, for suppose if you do not have a official account, but still you want to make use of Tableau for free. So what you can do is you can make use of this particular link. The second link which I have sent to you, with that link you will be able to see number of versions of Tableau. Right? So if I just go and if I click on this particular link, it will take you to the official website of Tableau, where from where you can go and you can download it. Right? So here if I go in, if I have to show, see everything is here. Even the help is also really good, right? So you can check. If I go to pricing, you will see the current pricing. We are about, I think it's $70. But let me tell you, you can actually make use of Tableau for free. Right? Just go here and just click on try now, and it is going to show you. See, for downloading all those things, you need to create a simple account, okay, and then you can actually download it. So, and again, you will what you will see is you will see something like this. Once it is downloaded, you will see a file like this. See, in my case, I think you are able to see. I have downloaded multiple versions of Tableau many times. So something like this you will be able to see. Just double click on that. It's application actually. As I told you, we are about 479 MB is the size. Okay. Now, as in my case, it's already installed. So let me show you this kind of icon. I hope you will see it. See this one. So I will just go and double click on this. Now once I double click, now it should open. So as and when once Tableau opens, what you will be able to see is something called as worksheet, right? So it is giving me some message that your product trial ends in 14 days. So because I have installed it today only for today's session, so yes, I can make use of Tableau for 14 days for free. After 14 days, what I'll be doing is I'll be installing new version. So see, this is the first look of Tableau. Whatever you are able to see is the first look of Tableau. Now, as I said, that we are going to make use of some Excel file, right? And that Excel file I'll be showing you. First of all, I will try to do visualization in that Excel file with the help of Microsoft Excel itself, right? And then we will try to read that file into Tableau, right? And then we will try to visualize the same thing. Whatever we are going to do with the help of Excel, same thing we are going to do with the help of Tableau itself. That's what I want to show you. So now let me try out opening that Excel file. Let me go here. Let me check. Open this with Excel now. Let's see. Now, yes. Now you can see. You can see the contents. Try to understand what I am trying to tell you. And I will first of all do some visualization or analysis with the help of Excel itself. So what are you able to see? You are able to see different columns here, like city, state, population, and literacy rate. Right. So this file contains demographic data details in terms of state, city, population, and literacy rate for the state. Okay. Now suppose you want to create a summary of this data. What we want is we want to create a summary of this data. Suppose we have a scenario where you want to know some of the things. For example, what you want to know is there is a scenario, and in that scenario there are questions. You want to know total population. This is the first thing we want to know, right? Total population. So here you can see, yes, population is given. Population is given, but we want a total population for each state. This is the first question we want answer for. So see, you can check Uttar Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh. It is repeated many times, but we want population state-wise. That's the first thing we want to do. Okay, because see, that's also one kind of analysis, right? Second thing is what? Second thing we want is the average literacy rate. Whatever you are able to see is literacy rate, and again it is repeated. But what we want is we want to find out the average literacy rate, maybe city-wise or maybe state-wise. That is the second question we want to solve. Third question we want to solve is we need to apply drill down. What I meant to say is, see how to what is drill down actually? That means I want such an option that see after the state name there should be a plus sign, and once I click on this plus sign, I should be able to see all the city names which are assigned to this particular state. For example, in Uttar Pradesh, what do we have? In Uttar Pradesh, we have city Agra. In Uttar Pradesh, we have city Allahabad, and so on. Right? So all the cities we want, all the cities in Uttar Pradesh state, we want under Uttar Pradesh only. So that's how we want, because that is going to make the data easier to understand. So we need to apply drill down of the state by cities, right? Drill down of states by cities. That means if I go and if I try to click on any plus sign just near to that particular state, I should be able to see all the cities. So these are the few questions that we need to know from this particular data. So this is what I am going to. That's what I am going to work on. Okay. So just try to understand. I will just keep all these questions as it is. Right. One by one, we will try to answer all these questions with the help of Excel itself. And the same question we will try to answer with the help of Tableau and Day. This is what we want to do. I hope you people are getting whatever I'm trying to discuss here. Now, the first thing is total population for each state. That's what we want, right? So for that, what we will do is now you might be knowing something called as pivot in Microsoft Excel. If you people are using Microsoft Excel, see again, Microsoft Excel is a really powerful tool. I am not saying that even if Tableau is available there, I am not saying that do not make it of Microsoft Excel. Yes, Microsoft Excel is also very good. But yes, Tableau actually gives you visualizations also. That's the advantage, right? And it makes the things easy. That's what I actually want to show you here. So first thing what I will do is I will try to make use of pivot table. Now what is pivot? Pivot is actually used to find out what you can say to group the things, for example, right? Or maybe I can say pivot is very useful. You might have come across pivot concept maybe in sorting or selection kind of methods if you have come across that. Or otherwise, let me show you practically. See, what I will do is I will go to this on Excel sheet for this data. I will go and I will select insert. All of you able to see? See, I clicked on insert. As and when I click on insert, here you will be able to see an option, and that is nothing but pivot table. See, I will just try to highlight it. I clicked on insert. Now here I am able to see this option, pivot table. This is what the thing which I am trying to talk about. Okay. Now after this, what once I am able to see this pivot, what I will do is I will click on that pivot. I will just click on that pivot table. As and when I clicked on pivot table, the range will be selected. See, as and when I click on pivot table, are you able to see this? See this dotted line, this moving line. This is nothing but range. So table range is selected actually. It has selected the complete table. So now and this particular pop-up window has come up here. Now always remember, always see, you are able to see this particular checkbox, right? New worksheet, existing worksheet. So always go with new worksheet. It's actually good to communicate with the data when you go with the new worksheet. So by default, it is new worksheet only. You just need to say okay. Okay, I will say okay. Now see, this new worksheet has opened. My original data is this one, but as the new worksheet is open, that is this one. Now I will answer these questions. We will try to answer these questions. What is the first question? Total population for each state. Now, are you able to see here? Are you able to see on the right side? See all these things. I will just try to highlight those things. See, are you able to see these things? City, state, population, literacy rate. These are the columns which were present in my data, right? So, what I am going to do is, as we want to answer this particular question, total population for each state, right? So just with respect to that particular question, what I will do is I will bring this state to this rows level. See, what I am doing is I will I will take this state. First of all, let me show you with the color. I am going to take this state column and drag it here in rows. This is what I am going to do. Okay. So for that, I will just take state here and drag it here. Let me do it once again. Yeah. Now see, as and when I brought the state to rows level, now you can see in this case Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Chandigarh, Chhattisgarh, and so on. Now they are on the row level, right? This is the first thing. We brought state to rows level. The next thing is, as we want to show total population for each state, what I will do is I will bring population in values. Values is nothing but this field. See this one. I hope you are able to see the cursor. So I will take population and I will just drag and drop here in values. Now see, this is nothing but total population for each state, right? This is the first thing we have, total population with each state. After that, to answer this one, the average literacy rate. So for that, what I will do is I will bring literacy rate in values, right? So this literacy rate, I am going to bring it in values. So by default, it will show you some of the literacy rate, but we need to find out the average. How that I will show you. See, here this literacy rate, I will drag it in values. Now literacy rate is also shown, but whatever you are able to see is nothing but what? It is the sum of literacy rate. What we want is, we want average literacy rate. See, let me just highlight that it's a sum. This is nothing but what? This is the sum of literacy rate. What we want is, we want average of the literacy rate. So for that, what you need to do is, just go here, right? Click on literacy rate. You will be able to see this particular option, value field settings. Click on value field settings, and here by default it is sum. What we want is average. Just click on average and save. Now you will be able to see that this is nothing but average literacy rate. Now it's going to show me the average of the literacy rate. Right? See, now it's average. So yes, second question also we have solved. Now to answer third question with the help of Microsoft Excel. What we want is, we want to do drill down of state by city. That means if I want something like plus signs, if I click on those plus signs, I should be able to see all the city names below the state. Right. So for that, what you need to do is, you need to bring city to rows option. So what I will do is, I will get this city and I will just bring it to rows option. Let me do it once again properly. Right? See this city to rows option add. Now see, are you able to see minus sign is here? Now what I will do is, I will go here, I will right click and go to this expand or collapse, and I will click on collapse entire field. I will click on this particular option, collapse entire field. Now see, this is the drill down. So for example, I want to see what is the population of maybe Pune. So I will click on Maharashtra and Pune. See, you can see the population of Pune, right? Average literacy rate of Pune, right? Similarly, you go for any state. You go for any state, you'll be able to see all the city names in that state, right? Like this, Uttar Pradesh, for example. So this is called as drill down, right? So now this is what we have achieved through Excel, through Microsoft Excel. What if we want to achieve the same thing through Tableau? That's what we want to see. Now, how Tableau looks like? So this is the first look of Tableau. When I started first time, this is what I'm able to see. Right. So now what am I going to do is, this particular file, whatever you are able to see, I am going to read that file through Tableau. How? For that, I will go to Tableau, okay, and I will click on text file, this particular option. See, I will just try to highlight that particular option. Now, whatever I have done with the help of Excel, I am trying to show you with the help of Tableau. Whatever you are able to see, right? This is the word Tableau. So I am going to use this particular option, that is Tableau, and with the help of that, I am going to read the demographic underscore details file, the file which we have just now made use of, right? So I will click on this text file. As and when I click on text file, see, I am able to see this demographic underscore details file. What I will do is I will just click on this open. Okay, so you will be able to see this particular thing. See this orange color worksheet. I hope I'm just trying to move my cursor here, right? Sheet one. So right now I am in data source. My data source is demographic underscore details.csv file, right? So now we want to show the population of all the states to Tableau. Okay. So for that, what I will do is I will go to worksheet. I will click on this. As and when I clicked on worksheet, I am able to see something like dimensions and measures. See, Tableau actually makes use of something called as dimensions and measures. So here in our data set, if you remember, right, in our data set we were having different columns, right? So those columns will be divided into two types. Some columns will be measures and some columns will be taken as dimensions by Tableau by default. You don't have to worry about that. As a user also, you can change which column should be under dimension and which column should be under uh, measure. That can be decided. But yes, Tableau also does something by default. So what is measure actually? Measures are always, see, always remember, measures are numerical values. Measures are numerical values. That actually or on which we can actually make use of mathematical functions, right? And what is dimension? Dimensions are qualitative. Always remember, dimensions are qualitative, and they do not total us up. You cannot actually do operation like sum or average on dimensions. For example, if I want to use an example like sales or maybe region, region is the example of column which can be taken as a dimension, or maybe employee location I can say. This is also example of a dimension, or maybe date. Date is also example of dimension, right? So try to understand what Tableau is going to do. In your data set, whatever may be the number of columns you have, those columns will be either dimensions or measures. This is what is going to happen by default with by Tableau actually. Okay. Now, as we want to show the same data with the help of Tableau here from that Excel file, right? That's why we have read that particular file in Tableau. Now, what am I going to do is as that particular file is already here, right? Let me just clear these things. As that particular file, demographic underscore details file is already ready in Tableau. Now that means I am able to access all the column names from that particular file, right? So what I will do is let me just clear this thing now. So see, you can check it. Major names, literacy rate, population, demographic details, and all these things. State and city, these are the dimensions. State and city. So here first of all, I clicked on that sheet one option. If I want to go to data source, I can click on this once again. Or otherwise, click on this sheet one here below. Okay, below left side. Now, here what I will do is you have two options: data and analytics. Right. So remember, I am in data in this option. Now, click on this show me option. See on this top right corner, you need to click on this show me option. So you will be able to see different types of visualizations which we talked about earlier when we started with today's session, like bar chart, donut chart, and all those things. Okay. Now, what I will do is, as I told you that measures and dimensions are available. The Tableau is going to divide all these things into measures and dimensions. Okay. So suppose I will click on this state. Okay, and maybe population. These two I have selected. Now, once I selected those things, I click on this particular graph. This one. Now see, I am able to see the data of state and population sum in Tableau like this. So same information, whatever we have seen in case of Microsoft Excel, same information you are able to see here with the help of just one click. Right? Suppose I want to go and I want to make it like this. Now see, I am able to see the population state wise. If I want to go and if I want to change the color, yes, that's also possible. Suppose I want to make some, I want to make some different colors. So now see, I'm able to see the same thing. Population of Maharashtra. See, population of Madhya Pradesh, population of Karnataka. So same thing you are able to see here. So you just need to drag population in label part. That's also you can go and you can do. Suppose I go and I just drag it here in label part. I will be able to see population values here. Or even if I go and if I just hover on the mouse here, we'll be able to see all the population values according to state. Right? So we have done this with just point and click with very less time in Tableau. Right? So and actually it is showing the population state wise. So if you want to change anything, population like color and all those things, you just need to drag population to color. For example, I want to change the color. So what you can do is just go here and drag it here. You have to just click on this one and you will be having different options for colors. All those things are fancy things are actually available with Tableau. So same data we are actually using Tableau to get the population state wise using a visual. Right, same data. That is nothing but is demographic details. Same data we are actually used. So the take back from this particular example is that making visuals, right, making visuals of your data is more easy and more useful compared to analyzing the data in Excel. Right? See, I'm not saying that Excel is not good, but visuals play an important role in data analysis because your brain can process the visual more easily than text. Right? That's a natural human tendency we can say. So, according to Tableau's knowledge base, a dimension is a field that can be considered as independent variable. And by default, Tableau treats any field containing qualitative categorical information as a dimension. And generally, the measure is the number. The dimension is what you slice and dice the number by. Okay? So these are the basic points which you can talk about dimensions and measures. And again, see, again, it's not like that you can make the only these graphs. We have a lot of options. For example, I want pie chart, right? So yes, you can see all the options are available here. I want this one. This is also available. I want to show information like this. Again, whose population is less, whose population is high. You can see all these graphs are possible with the help of tablet. Something like this you can go and you can find out like a table only, right? Columns and all those things. So all these things are available here, right? With the help of Tableau, you can visualize the things easily. Right? That's the reason. So this is what actually we have seen here with the help of Tableau you can do. Now, whatever I have done till now, all those things are actually given in this PDF file. Right. Those who are really interested, if you want to go further and learn Tableau, everything is given here in this PDF file. Right. So if you want, you can refer this particular PDF file. I will be sending the link of this. Now see, as I told you, if you really want to go and work on some projects, you need to purchase it. Right. So $70 annually, you can check it. We people actually I have this paid version because we need this particular thing in our projects. That's why we have a paid copy of this tab. And all the other things are given. So these are the meaning of all these icons which you are able to see. For example, see ABC. What is this ABC? It actually denotes the data type. It means the data type is string. Let me show you. See here you will be able to see some column names where you will see that it's either numeric or what you can say text. For example, hash. Let me show you. See this one, hash sign. See ABC sign. ABC means it's a string, right? Hash means it's a number. That's how actually Tableau detects. So yeah, definitely those people who really take interest in this, it is going to be very very useful, even in terms of jobs also, right? So think about Tableau in that manner. Okay, maybe if we get time, we will try to talk about some projects here which are related to Tableau. Let's see how it all goes. Okay, guys. So that's it from my side for today. You can now send your numbers and names. Yeah, if anyone any question, you can always ask in the chat box. No problem. Okay. Otherwise, you can start sending your names and numbers in the chat box.